Hey everybody, it is another VBH lunch break. Right now it's just me and Britney Spears, but we're going to be joined by Patrick Hayes in a second to talk about what's going on in the world of veteran care coordination. Patrick is our network director, and he does a lot of things, and I think some of you may know what he does, but I think it'd be great to find out a little bit more about what Patrick is up to. I see he's joined, so we'll pull him in. Before we do, just wanted to give you a couple updates. You know, we do 2 workouts every week on Mondays and Wednesdays right now. So make sure you're joining those. Those are all ability levels are welcome. It's at 7 o'clock. It's on Zoom. You can link up, find those links on Zoom on our calendar. So take a look, get fit. You got some time on your hands. You might as well be in shape and step back from the plate. And as always, if you know a veteran who needs any help, or if you need any help, make sure to give us a call or hit us up on our website. And let me pull in Patrick Hayes right now, who is out there. We'll welcome him to our broadcast here today.
Hey, Steve.
There he is. Hey, good to see you, Patrick. How are you?
Good to see you. I'm doing great, man. How about yourself?
I can't complain. I've done a few interviews with a few of our teammates. So before we get into the nitty gritty here, I wanted to just have everybody learn a little bit more about what makes Patrick Hayes tick. Give me a couple minutes on your whole life in 2 minutes. Go.
My whole life in 2 minutes. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up here in the Charlotte area. I was a class of 1991 Myers Park Mustang. Steve and I are contemporaries. He was the country day rich boy.
and a year older, because 3rd grade was so fun. I did it twice. So.
Yep. Good stuff. So after I graduated high school, went to Catawba College right down the road in Salisbury, then spent a couple of years in Chicago doing theater. Following that, I did logistics for a while, and then at some point in time, I got the great idea of joining the Army. So when I was 33, I went into the Army as a logistics officer, did 7 years active duty, got out in 2013, transferred over to the reserves, where I'm still serving as a major in a transportation battalion. I'm in the battalion XO, and decided to help other people. One of the things I enjoyed the most about my time in the military and my time in command was taking care of soldiers. So I went back to UNCC using the GI Bill, got a master's in social work, and then right after I graduated, started with Veterans Bridge Home about 3 years ago. And so now I manage the Care Coordination Center at VBH.
Great. No, that's great. A 33-year-old second lieutenant. So you were older than your company commander was, I'm sure, when you first showed up.
I was, yes. He was a West Point grad who had been in the Army for, I think, three or 4 years at that point, and he was about 26.
So brag, but as we tease you at work, you are just a dirty, nasty leg. So how was it being a leg at the home of the airborne?
So it was there. I took a lot of junk about that. It was just bad timing. I showed up, got my platoon. We were on orders to deploy, and so the story was, "Hey, we'll send you to airborne school when we get back from Afghanistan." So did about a year leading up, training up for Afghanistan. Went over in 2010, and when I got back, there was a set of orders for me to go to Fort Lee waiting for me when we got back. And they were like, "You're a known loss. You're not going to airborne school. We're not wasting the slot.
We're not wasting the slot on you." Yeah, sure.
So I did 3 years with the 82nd and never went to jump school.
Yeah, that's too bad. So maybe your reserve unit will send you.
47-year-old men have no business jumping out of airplanes.
Probably, I might agree with you on that. So let's switch gears quick, and let's talk about NC Serves and your work as the network director. I think there's a bit of confusion about what NC Serves is, and in the Venn diagram of NC Serves versus Veterans Bridge Home and the community at large. So, thumbnail on what NC Serves is, why it exists, and how it helps veterans here.
Okay, so NC Serves is part of a broader initiative called America Serves. We are one of 17 different markets across the country, 4 of which are located here in North Carolina. About 80% of the state of North Carolina is currently covered by an NC Serves Metro network, whether that's Metrolina here, our friends at Central up in the Raleigh area. Over in Asheville, you've got Western, and down towards Wilmington, you've got Coastal. So if you live in North Carolina, more than likely there is an NC Serves network that serves your neighborhood. Each of those networks is backed by a backbone organization. And the backbone organization manages all of the different providers that are in that network and helps connect veterans to the best services in their areas. We work with about 64 different providers that are local to the Charlotte area. You throw in national providers and online providers, we've got over 100 different organizations within our network. The idea is that if a veteran contacts any of those organizations, they're going to ask that question, did you serve? And when that's identified that yes, they're going to connect that veteran with the network. One of our team, Thomas, Dwayne, Bryce, myself, will give that veteran a call, have a conversation, find out what's important to them, what's important for them, and then match them to the best resources in our community. So NC Serves and VBH are closely aligned, but they are not the same thing. You know, we host the NC Serves network, but the network belongs to the community. Yeah. It belongs to those 64 different organizations and to the veterans that they serve.
Yeah, I think that's the piece that sometimes gets lost, is that it's like the conference, right? Using a sports analogy, you know, we're just one other team in there. We know veterans, and we do direct service providing in limited ways where we're bringing veterans together for lunches and coffees and things. So there's a bit of that. And we'll probably get to this a little bit as a SSVF sub-grantor, you know, we do a little bit of that, but we are, you know, we're one of many. The Charlotte Center for Legal Advocacy, the Men's Shelter, Urban Ministries, you name it, of those 60 plus providers out there, they're all part of the team. And to me, what makes this great is that everybody can be a plus in their service. Everybody can know that if I do my part, to the left and right of me, I've got teammates who are going to do the other thing. So if I only do legal work, I shouldn't be in the housing space. If I do housing work, I probably shouldn't be in the employment space. It lets everybody do what they do best.
Correct. And very rarely do we find the veteran that needs one thing. Our veterans tend to average about 2.5 services per veteran. So when someone calls up, if they're having housing instability, there's a root cause of that. And, you know, it may be employment. It may be not being connected to their VA disability benefits, you know. And so we're going to match them to those other providers that can help solve those underlying issues, you know. And so once you start doing that, once you start addressing the whole person and all of their needs, that's when you can really affect meaningful change.
Yeah, I mean, it makes total sense, right? If I am homeless and you give me a place to stay, but I don't have a way to pay for my place to stay, I'm not going to be there very long. Likewise, if I've got a job, but I don't have a place to take a shower and get a good night's sleep, I'm probably not going to be the world's greatest employee. So you can see how things are, it's easy to see how things are interconnected, and to solve one thing is good, but to know that there's others out there makes that one thing that is done, you know, more sustainable, more better for the individual and their family. What are you seeing from veterans right now? So we were doing this work before COVID-19 and the coronavirus pandemic. What's new? How's life different for the team?
We're seeing a slow but steady increase in volume. The first couple of weeks, most people were fine. But now that we're dragging into, you know, 6 weeks, 8 weeks of working from home, a new different normal, maybe not working if you were in a service industry, if you were in, working for a non-essential business. And so people's savings and reserves are starting to get tapped out, and we're starting to see an increase in requests for help with utilities. People are calling and saying, hey, I know it's only April 30th, but rent's due tomorrow and I'm not going to make it. So that kind of direct need in those areas is definitely ramping up. And we think that's going to continue to grow as time goes on. We've also started seeing an uptake in requests for some type of social connectivity, or whether that's behavioral health needs that are going unmet because people can't see their provider, or whether it's just, folks getting a little antsy staying in the house. Folks are reaching out and looking for some way to connect with other people and other veterans.
Yeah, that's great. Well, we're just about out of time. I wanted to thank you for coming on. There's a lot more that we can talk about. Every Thursday, everybody, we're going to be talking either to Patrick or to one of his teammates or a provider in the area about what's going on, who's doing great work, and what they're seeing from their foxhole here in Charlotte and the Charlotte region on veterans and military families. So, Patrick, appreciate your time. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Steve.
If anybody wants to volunteer, they can go to our website to veteransbridgehome.org. You can click get involved and fill out a volunteer profile. We're doing some buddy checks right now. If you need help, you can go to that same website, and at the top right corner, a red button that says request assistance. You can do that. You can call us. Make sure that you're letting your other veteran friends know that we're out there for them. And always tomorrow, weekdays at noon, we've got the Veterans Bridge Home, the VBH lunch break. Tomorrow we're going to do the sit rep. And in the meantime, everybody, be safe, be healthy, and be the bridge. Take care.
All right. Thanks, Steve.